All right. Hi, Aubrey.
Hi, Cassandra.
Can you um, share with me what your best hopes are for the conversation that we're about to have?
I think my best hopes are is trying to find some better techniques and tools that I can utilize to help manage stress with a work environment.
Okay. So you're looking for us to find some ways that you can manage stress at work.
Correct.
What are your best hopes for the situation that you're thinking about?
I think my best hopes for this situation that I'm thinking about is how to be able to cope with stressful situations that are unpredictable, that just come up in my everyday workflow, and how to be able to manage that and to be able to find an approach in which I can still move forward and do my job effectively and not allow stress to overwhelm me, where that's pretty much all that I navigate in that moment.
I see. So when you're at work, there are times where you are feeling overwhelmed by stress, and that's all that you're thinking about. And then navigating through the rest of your workday becomes more difficult,
Overwhelming. Yes.
overwhelming, where you are struggling to get through it because of the stress. So, really looking to find some tools that you can utilize to manage those stressful times throughout your day.
Right. To manage those valleys, so to speak.
What tells you that you're stressed when you're at work?
What tells me that I'm stressed when at work, um, I get a little anxious. Um, I think in regards to being anxious, then when I'm overwhelmed, you lose your uh train of thought, your focus, your goal that you want to accomplish that day. Um, and I get agitated very easily, not with people, but with myself. If I can't move through that situation fast enough so that I can deal with it, push it aside, and then move forward so that I can accomplish what I want to accomplish that day and know that I'm fulfilled and I had a purpose that day. I'm
Nice.
a goal-driven person. So it's important for me to be able to find a strategy that helps me stay on point with what I want to be able to do, and then how to better live in that moment, so to speak, when I feel pressured or stressed.
I see. So it starts with some anxiety,
Hmm.
and then it goes into you're feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts, and you aren't feeling at some point during the day because you're overwhelmed by those thoughts. You're not feeling like you're meeting what you said, your goals, your goal
Correct.
driven. So
Yes.
trying to find a way to break that pattern, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm going to ask a little bit of a weird question. Let's
Mhm.
say um, I, I want to ask you a scaling question. Okay. So let's say 10 represents where you would like to be in not allowing your stress to over encompass your goals for the day.
Hmm.
To be so 10 is you're goal driven, you feel accomplished. Okay.
Right.
And one is you're anxious and you were derailed.
Hmm.
Okay. Where would you say you are now on that scale today?
I would say I'm probably between a six and a seven.
Okay. So a six and a seven
Hmm.
between those two ratings.
Yes.
Wow. So I would say you're doing pretty good. because that's pretty close to a 10.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you, hold on, wait. What makes you at a 6 or a 7?
I mean, the certain situations of the day that come up. For instance, I'm in marketing and advertising, so sales, I have a quota, monthly quota that you need to meet, and then I break that out on a weekly and a daily basis. And then when you're putting together proposals, and then you think you have it all, the strategy put together for a client, so to speak, and they're all on fire, and you review the proposal with them, and then they need a couple of days to process it and to make sure that they have enough in their budget to be able to allocate to that advertising. And then they come back and they say, oh, we're so sorry, I just heard that we're growing and we need to put this on pause. That's a big, when you're building your pipeline and you have that in your pipeline, that number, because it's not a closed deal, but all the sales signals are there. And then all of a sudden everything has been put to a halt. Now you got to regroup and try to get past that disappointment, not showing that to the client or anything, and I understand the feel found with the client, but internally it's very frustrating because you've put so much work and effort into this campaign for a client, and now it's being put on hold, and there isn't a start date in the near future yet. So now you got to rebuild your pipeline and find someone else to be able to take that specific campaign dollars that you've built in your pipeline to replace it. And that can be very stressful and overwhelming. And it sometimes just brings you down a notch. You're really pumped up, everything's excited, you can't wait to close it. And then that comes in and you're like, it's a setback. And so you're trying, how you want to be able to get out of that setback in that internal feeling as quickly as possible so that it doesn't overcompensate you where you hang on to it too long and then it affects all of your sales. So that's why there's peaks and valleys in sales, and then how to be able to keep yourself positive and uplifted and moving forward. So that's what I would say is a 6 or 7 at this moment, because that actually happened today.
So I hear you saying a lot about, the different levels within sales and your marketing, you're specifically in sales marketing.
Yes.
And your pipeline, you're building that is can be stressful and overwhelming. But what makes you at a 6 or a 7 on your scale right now with managing your stress?
In your eyes, you might think that the 6 or 7 is awesome because it's close to the 10 mark. In my mind, I don't look at it as awesome because I'm thinking about it constantly in my mind. Like, could I have done something better? Did I present too many campaigns for them? Did I miss a buying signal where if I would have known that earlier, I could have better prepared myself. So a 6 and 7 in my mind, I don't look at it as a rating scale. I look at it as a barrier for me.
A barrier.
Hmm.
Okay, to being at a 10.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you another weird question in a little bit of a different way.
Okay.
What would what would make you at a number lower? Let's say a 5.
Hmm.
What would make you a 5, do you think?
Probably getting rejections on a regular basis from clients.
Okay. So you're not getting rejections on a regular basis.
Not on a regular basis, no. But you do get some. So when, yes, which is good. I'm not getting it on a regular basis. But when you do lose a big client, opportunity, um, you don't feel like it's a 6 or a 7. You feel like you've missed the mark. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I hear you saying that it's important to you that you build your pipeline, especially with these big clients. And that when you miss that, it doesn't feel like a 6 or a 7. It feels like disappointment, like letdown.
Yes.
And it's hard, like you were saying before, to get yourself out of that thought pattern to then, go on to the next thing.
Right.
What would make you an 8, do you think?
I'm closing every deal at having a closing ratio of 3 to 1.
So closing more 3 to 1, so less rejection, as you said, less no.
Yes, yes. The hard thing with sales is it's all about timing, right?
Mhm.
Your timing is different than a client's timing. And how do you then align their timing with your timing and be able to fit it so you're meeting their goals, but at the same time you're also meeting your goals. And that's the logic of it.
Yeah, being in that timing, as you said, and really aligning yourself to what the client's goals are is
Right.
important to close, as you said.
Correct.
What are you doing? I'm curious, what are you doing that is already on track right now to be an 8?
What do I do when I do a lot of research on clients before I reach out to them? I really want to have a good understanding of their industry. I do research on their marketing strategy for 2026 so I can see the key areas that they're trying to focus on, and then how can I align our products and services to help them get there. So I build out a roadmap, so to speak, before of a strategy and an approach of how I can help fill my clients' needs and help meet their goals and keep them within a budget that they have allocated for 2026.
Wow.
And then when I connect with them, I can feel confident about their industry somewhat, and I can talk to them in regards to key areas that we're going to be able to help them that align with their strategic marketing strategy.
Wow.
That helps me gain a lot of appointments. That helps me close deals a lot quicker.
Mhm.
And it also shows that I understand their industry,
Mhm.
so that I can better serve them. I'm not a salesperson that's out for the transaction. I'm more out to building a relationship with the client so that I can have that client long term, not just one time.
Absolutely. I am hearing so many amazing things that you do. So not only do you do research before you meet with a client, and you really try and understand their 2026 goals and what they're looking at within their budget, as you stated,
Right.
but you're also really looking at their goals for what could be their goals for marketing that align with their goals for their trajectory of where they'd like to be in 2026,
Correct.
which is
Perfect.
incredible that you're
Thank
doing
you.
that you're able to not only do the research and have for time for that, but each individual client is getting essentially a personalized um, roadmap, as you stated, that could boost their goals and meet some of those this year, which is incredible. That takes a lot
Thank you.
of effort and time. And then you're
Yes, it does.
also being the timing and aligning the timing with those clients. How are you managing all of that? How are you doing that so well? Because you are. How are you doing that so well?
I build out a file for each client. That way, then um, I know exactly a strategy that I want to talk to them about. And so I have that prepared ahead of time. And I do that digitally and I do it hard copy as well. But I also keep track on a daily basis on what are the tasks that I want to get done that day, because that helps me stay in point. I have a lot of clients and they all don't advertise at the same time. They all have different sizes, they all have different programs, different costs. So you're managing a database, you're managing your CRM to build out the strategy and to get them scheduled into the advertising CRM. And then you're also doing your own daily to-do lists so that it keeps you on point with each client. I actually have a notebook and I track everything. So I know who the client is, I know the date that they're going to start, I know their size of their ad, I know their cost of what they're paying. And then do I have their insertion order in? Do I have their ad copies in? I track that on a daily and weekly basis. So it helps me stay on point so that I don't forget a client.
Right. Yeah. You're doing a lot. You're doing,
Mhm.
you're
A lot
managing.
of moves management in
Yeah.
there.
Yes. You're managing every file of the, like you said, many clients that you have. You're managing when when their print is due, when you said when their
Their
copy,
digital is
their
due.
digital is due.
Yep. Hmm.
You're managing the program, the CRM. And then also, like you said, you're doing that research, you're prioritizing their needs. That's wow. I'm amazed that you're doing all of this and that you're managing everything that you're doing.
It's yeah, it's a lot. I enjoy it a lot. It does keep you busy and not every day is the same thing.
Right.
And you have all different clients from large to small. But each one is very important. And you want to make sure that your client is satisfied and that you're giving them that extra touch that is needed so that they feel important.
Mhm.
Um, so there's a lot of moves management to be able to keep that on point and managing your calendars and um it's a lot. So that's why if you lose a deal, it sometimes is very frustrating because you put so much effort into everything that you do. I think sometimes too, I want to be a perfectionist in everything that I want to do and cross every T and dot every I. I can actually be my worst critic, where I can internalize and beat myself up if I miss something. And I know that about myself, and I try to work on that every day because that alone can deter you from being successful.
Right. Absolutely. And I hear you saying that that how important this is to you, how important this work is. You enjoy it, which is
Yes,
amazing that you found something that you enjoy doing every day. Every day's different. There's new things happening, new clients to go after to build your pipeline, like you said earlier. Um, but you're managing it as best you can. You're
yes.
still showing up to work every day. You're still opening all of those files. You're still managing your CRM and going into your program and getting things laid out and making sure that you do cross your I's and dot your T's to the best of your ability. You're still
Absolutely.
up for your clients and for yourself and for your
Yes.
family.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I need to be able to help support my family and my household. So it's important that I meet my goals just as much as it is important to meet my clients' goals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's palpable that this is important to you.
Yes,
Important that you not only manage your stress when you're at work so that you can do in your eyes better for your clients and in general to build at work, but it's also important for you within your family and also just to yourself to know that you're doing a good job.
right, exactly. You want to make sure that you're being, for me, it's to be fulfilled and knowing that what I'm doing, I'm still giving back in helping the community and helping businesses grow and thrive. But at the same time, too, I need to make sure that my family can grow and thrive. So,
It's my timer.